can send it to me.
More dialogue.
Prominent in the picture. I do represent a larger customer base.
Wow.
I don't have a script for this one. I mostly just wanted to sit down and just run my
I
mind
forgot my headset's
through
on in the background.
with all of the thoughts that I've had about
like
the game since it came out. I mean, I've been done playing the game for a few months now, so a lot of that is gone now, but I still have some parts of the game left to play that might help refresh my memory. I still have to do the Wraith gameplay and see her part of the DLC. I'll probably save that for some extra content. I want to start talking about boss fights. The boss fights in the game undoubtedly were one of the biggest things that I had to talk about throughout the entire thing. The entire time that I was streaming the game, I had so much fun, but also so much to complain about when it came to the boss fights. Lizard's boss fight. We'll start with talking about Lizard's boss fight. This was the one clip I could actually find in my gallery from the end of my boss fight with the lizard. I really thoroughly enjoyed fighting the lizard. It was a whole experience getting to take on Dr. Connors, and especially in the symbiote suit.
Oh, his arm
But
was broken.
it's so repetitive having to open and close the vents on him to deal any necessary amounts of damage to him.
Oh well, at least I can swing along the bridge.
Sorry, I don't have a studio to record in. I live in a small city with a lot of cheap, crappy engines. You're gonna probably hear a lot of that in future videos. I apologize. So, anyways, the boss fights, especially with the lizards, there was a lot of excessive use of opening hatches on him throughout the different stages, and not to mention he had 4 different health bars. It started to get a little monotonous after a while. But the absolute...
Oh, dude,
I don't even know what word to use here, but the grip that the fight has on you at first is very strong. You feel so into it, you feel so immersed, but then after you take him down and think you've knocked him out, you still have 3 more health bars to go. It's not Dark Souls. We don't need that in Spider-Man. And that applies to the other bosses too. It wasn't just the lizard. I don't have additional clips to throw in here of me fighting the other bosses, but overall, just how I feel about boss fights. I mean, and getting to fight people like Martin Lee again, but as Miles Morales, I mean, or going to swing through the city, dodging attacks from the Sandman. That one felt like it was just reskinned straight out of the Spider-Man 1 game from fighting the mindscape that Scorpion's drugs put Peter into after he was stabbed. Felt like a reskinned version of that more than anything. Sorry, the suit itches. I just shaved recently, and all my stuff was caught in the spandex. It itches.
It's like cold, dude. Dude,
I mean, the game overall, when it comes to the boss fights, is the boss fights did not lose creativity or anything. They need to step back on the amount of health bars the bosses have. And a majority of the background content that's been in this so far, you've been able to hear me talking about the suits. That's actually a positive thing I want to talk about real quick too while it's in the background. The amount of suits and suit variants that they added to the second game just to have, so we could have additional fun. Dude, so cool. So many awesome suits. That one was ugly. This one's kind of cool. That one's really cool. I don't know where that one's from. And there were so many suits that I didn't know where they were from, and it made me, as somebody who has always said that they're a fucking Spider-Man know-it-all, knows everything there is to know about Spider-Man, I found myself with a lot of blank gaps in my knowledge when it came to these characters. Like that one. That's just Power Ranger Spider-Man. But I love it. It's so cool. Now,
Wait,
next thing I want to get
wait.
into is I
can't
want to
dress him
talk
as
about
Peter?
how well they handled.
funny.
I feel like this might be a bit of a jump because we're going from Lizard to Suits, which I should have talked about first, but now we're going to talk about Harry and Peter's relationship. Handled flawlessly. Almost probably better than they handled it in the Sam Raimi movie, which I know that that's probably not a great example to put it up against because the Sam Raimi films were hilariously edgy and just so stupid in some of the ways. Goldblum Jr. gonna cry? Stuff like that, and watching Spider-Man, do all of this. Sure, I know what we're comparing it to. But the amount of trauma that trauma might be excessive, but the amount of bullshit that poor Harry went through. He's dying of cancer. Lets Peter borrow his life-saving suit, and then suddenly can't get it back as he's dying, withering away inside. It's crazy. It's just crazy to me. I mean, and Harry starts off so cool about it.
Wow.
Taking it so well, trying to take it well, keeping it in. While Peter, he's trying his best. I mean, sure, he's also out here doing whack-a-mole. But like, he's doing his best. He tried to get the suit off. It wouldn't come off. He doesn't know why. He tried to find help to get it off. And Harry just started to quickly grow resentment for him, especially after losing access to his superpowers. He became Agent Venom for a while. That was really cool. I loved that little nod towards Agent Venom. But the way that the resentment started to leak in over time was just so perfectly handled. I loved that about the game. The storytelling was great in that matter. And I just hope that it continues for the third game. The third game is gonna be. I'm so excited for it already. I can't express enough how excited I am. Let's talk about Felicia Hardy's story really quickly. What was this all about? Where did this girlfriend of hers come from? Was there a story, like a comic book or something, that I missed out on somewhere along the lines that explained her secret love life? Because I'm not surprised that Felicia would have a secret girlfriend or something. She definitely seems like a total. So like, I'm usually totally against changing a character's canon sexuality just for the sake of changing it to make LGBT readers read or whatever. But like, it seemed reasonable. But I still didn't understand where she came from. Miles is helping her steal from the Sanctum Sanctorum, and where was Doc and Wu the entire time? I know they don't have access to him for the game, but like, they're not defending the Sanctum Sanctorum at all. She goes in, steals some major magic artifact, and then just walks right out with it. Disappears so that Kraven won't kill her. Good, because I know I saw that in some of the content they were gonna have her dead along with Rhino and Scorpion and a couple other characters. There's a secret spot on the map that you have to no-clip to where you could find it. It might be gone now. They might have patched it out, but I did see YouTube content of it. Somebody else posted it online. I'll tell you what. There was one thing that the writers and the developers knew what they were doing for sure when it came to this game, and it was the intensity. Watching Scorpion be killed, this was really intense, right? Like, I didn't expect anybody to actually, by this point in the game, I didn't expect to see any actual deaths, no blood, especially because of this. There's no blood, alright? Pretty modest, like pretty meager, teen rated. And then we had stuff like this in the game. Horror chases, essentially. Teen rated still, but also very intense. I felt like I was playing a horror game while I was doing this. This was more intense to me than the M-rated game Dead Space, when I was playing that in October. This had my heart pounding a little bit more than that did. This was some good stuff. Intensity levels up here, You know, the QTE made it even more. You had to be alert, you had to be prepared, you had to be ready. And not to mention how great the scene looked overall. That applies to the death of Scorpion, escaping the Venomized Spider-Man, and the death of I'm drawing a blank here for Craven. I was drawing a blank on his name, Craven. Craven's death was something else. There was blood in the fish market or whatever, the fish factory, where Miles had to sneak through to find the lizard to begin with. But this was something else. I did not expect to see any actual blood splatters, no bloody teeth. Sorry, an ambulance went by. I didn't expect any of that, but that is exactly what they gave us. Pure violence. Like, what more can you ask for? Most of the games don't do this anymore.
Oh shit, hello.
Getting to see one of my favorite characters come back again just to make an appearance as a new character was awesome. This video managed to pull like 2,000 views on my YouTube or something of Yuri being back in the game. And that's all the more reason to why I also still need to explore her story, since I didn't finish it when I was streaming the game. I just desperately want to know more about what's going on with her, if she's going to be in the third game or not. And I mean, I'm sure she will be, but I won't know for sure unless I finish the story. So come check that out. It's going to be going on the channel at some point or another. It's not going to be streamed. It's going to be an off the stream kind of thing, where I play the game by myself, take clips, and make content out of it. A lot like this. It's going to be like this review, but not completely. This right here is a fantastic example of what an actual good boss fight in Spider-Man looks like. 1 to 2 health bars on your opponent. You get a vast amount of abilities to use against your boss opponent, and you don't feel too outpowered. You feel almost as equals. But you know that because you're equals, that boss is going to have almost the same skill set as you. If you're good at the game especially, and you have the difficulty turned up higher, it's gonna seem like your boss challenge is going to be ready to anticipate your moves and stuff, just like a real Spider-Man villain would be after you're dealing with Spider-Man for a while. Now I know this is a different case because it's Venom fighting Craven. It's Venom fighting Craven, not Spider-Man, but that was what made it cool too. We got to play as Venom and just experience his raw power. His limitless, I wouldn't say limitless, but seemingly limitless power. And just bullying Craven with his own gear and equipment was just so much fun. Playing as Venom made me feel like I didn't have to worry about doing a no damage challenge either too, because I could reasonably pass an excuse for why I'd be healing throughout through any damage I took in the fight. This scene here is like the cherry on the ice cream when it comes to feeling complete with the game. The emotion that the body actor for Norman put into this was just... I can't wait for the next game. The amount of anticipation that I have for the third game, I feel like I'm back in high school again, having just found out that this random company that I'd never heard of before, named Insomniac, was going to be making a new Spider-Man game. I've been playing the game since Activision and other companies were still making them. THQ Nordic was making Spider-Man games at one point or another. So having heard about some company named Insomniac that I'd never heard of before was making a game of one of my favorite characters in all of fantasy media, was bringing back something from my childhood, and then it was fantastic. The game was great. DLCs were great, one each shorter than the last, but we're not getting into that. That's not a review for this. That's a review for 2 games ago. And just so well made. I can't, like, Spider-Man 2, they improved on everything from Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales as far as graphics went and story writing. it's just a near flawless game, not including any of the some of the minor bugs and stuff that had to be patched. It's gonna be great playing the third, technically fourth game, Spider-Man 1, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, game number 3, and Spider-Man 3, aka Spider-Man Game 4. That's gonna bother the shit out of me, and I don't even have OCD. It already bothers me now. But with the way that the current games ended, with everybody's lives are really good looking right now. Peter's happy, MJ's happy, Miles is happy. Peter is considering retirement, which that doesn't make any sense to me. That's something I get to rant about. I don't understand why Peter would ever consider hanging up the mask when Miles is still out there risking his life. The city's way better off with 2 Spider-Men, and these idiots are considering writing Spider-Man off. Now, I know they're not going to do it. They're not going to write off Peter Parker for any reason when they have a whole third game cooked up in the mix. But it's frustrating a little bit to think that they would try and get rid of Peter so soon. And what's crazy too is I know it sent the entire internet up in flames for a while, as far as just people were saying it was woke bullshit. They wanted to replace Spider-Man with the Black Spider-Man, which that's just sad in itself to think that like we're in such a case now where it's automatically all political or a social movement or something. It's not that. It would just be the logical step to send the apprentice out on his own to take over for the aging master. But Peter, again, is still in the perfect case to keep taking care of the city. And he's going to continue to keep taking care of the city. He's not going to stop anytime soon. It just wouldn't make sense. It's not in his cards. It's not part of Peter Parker's story to truly ever put the suit up. And forever, that will be the case. There's no reason to ever worry.
Yeah, what are they gonna do about that now that
No,
the place is destroyed?
I'm just rambling at this point,
Harry's back in
so
the
I want to
hospital,
move on.
dying again.
I wonder what's gonna happen with the May Foundation. Now that the whole building's been torn down and it's being operated out of a garage, I wonder if they're gonna build a new one. What's gonna happen to Harry? Is he gonna be back for the next game? Is he gonna be stuck in the hospital still? We have so many unanswered questions. And just all this time to ponder it while the new game gets made. And I'll still be sitting here, ready to put this costume back on and swing through the cities. There's only one city. But that would be cool. Maybe we'll get a Spider-Man game based off of Spider-Man from another city. Like, I'm pretty sure Ben Reilly operates out of, like, Chicago or something like that. I'd love to swing through Chicago instead of New York. That'd be different. But this has been another review on my channel. This is like the third or fourth review. This is a game review instead of a movie review. But I hope that you've liked it. I hope you've appreciated my opinion giving. I hope that you've been able to make it through all my random ranting. And I hope you love watching me wear the suit while I do the review. I'm going to be doing everything with this camera now, so like, subscribe, and I hope I'll see you next time.
I will not be playing Spider-Man. Alright, I can't say that. I would totally play Spider-Man 3 if it was just Miles Morales. I have no problem with that. But, like, I do at the same time. I can't have that. It's gotta be Miles and Peter. I don't like that idea that while Peter is still physically capable of being Spider-Man, that he would not choose to do so and help Miles. Considering all the life-threatening danger that comes with being Spider-Man, like, what would Peter do if Miles got killed in the line of duty and he could have been there to stop it from happening? He would fucking hate himself forever. It would ruin him.